The narcissist doesn't live in truth, they live in performance. Their life is not a conversation, it's a stage. Every word, every gesture, every smile, rehearsed. Their goal is not to connect. Their goal is to control the perception of connection. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." And that is the curse of the narcissist. They believe they already know who they are, perfect, admired, flawless, and so they never truly see themselves. To them, the world is a mirror, and everyone in it exists to reflect their greatness. They don't love you. They love your reaction to them. They don't want your honesty. They want your admiration. Their entire existence is fueled by validation. Without it, they suffocate. But here's the paradox. They crave control, yet live in total dependence. They command attention, but can't survive without it. And they wear their confidence like armor, not because they're strong, but because they're terrified of being ordinary. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, and a narcissist's soul is stained with the thought that they must always be adored, even if it means becoming an illusion. But every illusion has a weakness, and every mask, no matter how convincing, can crack." Today, I'll show you how to expose any narcissist, not by shouting, not by arguing, but with one single question. A question that pierces through the act and forces them to face what they fear most, the emptiness beneath their performance. The narcissist is not what they appear to be. They are a performer caught inside their own play. To the world, they look like leaders, charming, confident, untouchable. But behind that confidence is desperation. Behind every smile is a calculation. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Those who seek the admiration of the many are slaves of the many." That's the tragedy of the narcissist. They build their power on the applause of others, never realizing that applause can stop at any moment. They are emotional illusionists. At work, they play the hero, always first to take credit, never to take blame. In relationships, they play the ideal lover, attentive, magnetic, intoxicating, until admiration becomes routine and they must invent chaos to feel alive again. They'll flatter you when they need you, ignore you when they're bored, and destroy you when you threaten their control. Not because they hate you, but because they can't bear losing their mirror. Seneca wrote, "He who depends on others for happiness will always be restless." The narcissist is eternally restless, forever chasing admiration, forever terrified of irrelevance. They manipulate by turning reflection into confusion. They'll twist your words until you question your own memory. They'll provoke, then play the victim. They'll tell you you're too emotional while secretly feeding on your reactions. And here's their real addiction, not love, not power, but reaction itself. Every sigh, every tear, every angry word feeds the performance. Because in their world, being hated is better than being ignored. But beneath the performance lies a hollow truth. They don't know who they are without someone watching. Their identity depends on the eyes that look at them. And when those eyes turn away, the performer loses the script. That's when they panic. That's when they reveal themselves. The battle with a narcissist is not fought in the world. It's fought in your mind. Because their weapon isn't cruelty, it's confusion. If you've ever tried reasoning with one, you know the cycle. You speak truth, they twist it. You show evidence, they change the topic. You share how you feel, they mock you for being too sensitive. And somehow by the end, you're the one apologizing. That's not coincidence, that's strategy. They know how to shift reality until you doubt your own. It's called gaslighting, a slow erosion of your certainty. They make you question your perception until you seek their approval just to feel sane again. Epictetus wrote, "When someone provokes you, remember that it is your judgment that provokes you." That's the Stoic truth. No one can steal your peace unless you hand it over. But a narcissist is skilled at making you hand it over willingly. They study your emotional language. They find your triggers, your guilt, your empathy, your hope. Then they use them against you. They don't care if you're right or wrong, they only care if you react. Because every reaction reaffirms their control. You raise your voice, they smirk. You cry, they sigh in superiority. You explain, they pretend not to understand. And so the more you fight, the deeper you sink. I once spoke with a man who lived under such control for years. His partner was charming in public, cruel in private. Every argument ended with her tears and his guilt. Until one day, he said nothing. No defense, No anger, just silence. She panicked. She shouted, accused, begged for a reaction, but there was none. And that silence broke her more than any argument ever did. Because silence removes their mirror, and without reflection, they vanish. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's where the true battle lies. Not in proving them wrong, but in mastering your own reaction. The moment you stop defending yourself to someone who thrives on chaos, you become untouchable. They can't twist silence. They can't control calm. And that's where the shift begins. The narcissist loses power not when you fight them, but when you refuse to perform. Most people try to expose narcissists through confrontation, but confrontation feeds them. They don't seek truth. They seek spotlight. The real exposure happens through stillness, through one quiet, devastating question. When the time comes, when their mask starts to slip, look them in the eye, calm, grounded, detached, and ask, "What would you do if you could never impress anyone again?" Then say nothing. Watch carefully. The confident mask will falter. Their eyes will shift, their breath will tighten, because that question removes the oxygen of their existence, admiration. The narcissist lives through performance. You've just asked them to imagine a life without an audience, and that terrifies them. They'll laugh it off, maybe mock the question. But internally, they're unraveling, because you've held up a mirror that reflects only emptiness. I once met a man named Aurelius. He built his entire identity on being admired, the successful entrepreneur, the charming leader, the man everyone envied. But behind the facade, he was miserable. Every day was a hunt for approval, every achievement a plea to be seen. One evening, during a conversation, his friend asked him calmly, "If no one knew you did it, would you still do it?" Aurelius froze. For the first time, he realized he had no answer. Because every choice he made was for the applause, not for the meaning. That's the same mirror the question holds up to the narcissist. It doesn't insult them, it reveals them. And when they see that reflection, the reflection of nothingness, you don't need to say another word. The silence will do the rest. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. It's the ability to see manipulation without becoming part of it. When you detach, you remove their script. You no longer react on cue. You no longer supply the emotion they feed on. Seneca wrote, "He who controls himself is greater than he who conquers a city." That is the Stoic warrior's path, not control over others, but over one's own impulses. The narcissist depends on your participation. They need you to explain, to defend, to justify. They need your energy to validate their existence. The moment you go silent, the play collapses. I knew a woman who once lived under constant emotional manipulation. Her partner would guilt her daily. "You never care enough. You're so distant. You've changed." She tried everything, talking, reasoning, compromising. Nothing worked. Until one day she simply stopped responding. She smiled, stayed calm, and said nothing more. At first he exploded, but eventually he deflated, because her peace was louder than his chaos. That is Stoic defense. When you no longer need their apology, you take back your power. When you no longer react, you reclaim your mind. Epictetus taught, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Meaning, you don't need to prove your worth to anyone. Your peace is your proof. The greatest act of strength is not revenge, it's indifference to their illusion. Because what they crave most is to know they still matter to you. The moment they don't, their power dissolves. The narcissist is not a monster. They are a broken reflection, a child who learned that admiration is safer than authenticity. But that is not your burden to heal. Your task is simpler, harder, and far more powerful. To see through the illusion and remain unmoved. You don't expose them by shouting, you expose them by refusing to play. You expose them by asking one quiet question: what would you do if you could never impress anyone again? That question doesn't humiliate them, it frees you. Because in that moment, you stop feeding the illusion. You stop participating in the play. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." So be one, calm, centered, untouchable. When you choose silence over reaction, clarity over chaos, freedom over validation, you've already won. Because the real victory isn't exposing them, it's mastering yourself. The narcissist's greatest fear is being forgotten. Your greatest strength is not needing to be remembered. So stand tall, walk away without hate, and let their echo fade in your silence. If this message spoke to you, Share it with someone ready to reclaim their power. Join the Brotherhood of Stoic Minds, and write below, I choose freedom over validation. Because that's where your transformation begins.